Hey everyone. So I was having a conversation with my friend the other day, and the topic of discussion was centered on menopause. Or specifically that day, we were talking about perimenopause, but they're two kind of linked together. And I like to have this conversation and this discussion because menopause is such a scary time in a woman's life, in a lot of women's lives. It brings about stress, anxiety, depression, grief over the loss of their reproductive years, and it really doesn't have to be that way. Think of menopause as the beginning of a new phase in your life that comes with its norms and abnormals. And as long as we're able to accept it for what it is and maintain our health, emotionally, physically, mentally during that time, we're okay. Scientifically, for a lot of women, menopause begins between ages 45 and 55. Of course, there are outliers and there are, people that are not within those, parameters. Perimenopause oftentimes starts 10 to 15 years before that. So let's just say, hypothetically, we have a woman who's going into menopause at 55. Around 45 is when she'll start to have symptoms of perimenopause, which is when the ovaries start to slowly decline and produce less estrogen over time, which we know are the dominant sex hormones in the female body. A lot of times people don't associate perimenopause with their late 30s, but it's a very real reality, and I think it's time that we start to treat it that way. For me, I'm 37, and sometimes I'm forgetful. I chalk it up to the fact that I'm a mom of a toddler, but at the same time, we can't forget to check all the boxes when it comes to looking at our health holistically. And for a lot of women that are over the age of 40 and perhaps have started menarche at an earlier age, or have even started having children at an early age, that have older children like teenagers or children in their 20s or even older, chances are you may be in that phase without even recognizing it. And the point of this video is to normalize these conversations and create a space where it's safe for women to discuss the signs and symptoms that they're experiencing that may not be as pleasant because they weren't used to experiencing those signs and symptoms from the age of menarche, which is when you have your first period in puberty, all the way through, puberty and their child rearing years and their reproductive years, right? This is all new to us. So some of the modalities of treatment that are used to combat some of the signs and symptoms of perimenopause and menopause are hormone replacement therapy. If you want to go the natural route, you can use things like progesterone cream. Wild yam cream really works very well. And you can use it, both men and women can use wild yam cream. So you can use that. You can use, traditional medication that is hormone replacement therapy, lifestyle modification, so exercising, eating better, eliminating things from your diet that are exacerbating those symptoms, making sure that you're getting enough rest and sleep. A lot of people normalize this idea that we're supposed to only sleep for 8 hours a night, which is a fallacy. Women tend to need more sleep in order to function at the same level, as our counterparts. So if you're a young woman or you're a woman who's menopausal or perimenopausal, you should be getting between 10 and 12 hours of sleep a night, and you can modify that based on what works for you, which means that you should be putting your phone down earlier at night and trying to get in some sleep. Ideally, you should be getting a minimum of 3 to 4 hours of sleep before 12 a.m. So whatever you get after 12 a.m. is great, but you should be getting 3 to 4 hours of sleep guaranteed within those 10 to 12 hours. Those hours need to happen before 12 a.m. Because that has really good repairing effects on your body, on cell repair, and all of those things. But this video is to just demystify it, take away the stigma, focus on ways that we can improve our mental health during this different time in a woman's life. A lot of women may require antidepressants if necessary, if all other avenues fail. One other thing I like to recommend to women is berberine. Berberine is something that I swear by because it acts as a GLP-1 agonist. However, it doesn't have the same negative effects as things like Mounjaro or Ozempic, and it works a lot slower. So you're going to get a lot slower weight loss, but you're also going to get lower blood pressure. You're also going to get a stable blood sugar, which is essential for burning fat, keeping it off, and losing weight. You're going to have better moods because anytime you have insulin, sensitivity, or what's the word I'm looking for? Not insulin sensitivity. Anytime you're constantly spiking your insulin and your insulin is going up and down and it's all wacky, that has a direct effect on your moods and can mimic things like anxiety and depression, but it's just your blood sugar not being stable enough. So I recommend berberine, I recommend wild yam cream, I recommend exercising, I recommend stretching, I recommend believing in some kind of a higher power, and I recommend investing and making sure that you're cultivating and nurturing your relationships with people, whether it be with your children, your siblings, your friends, your community, because during the toughest times in life, when you're transitioning into a new phase of life, you need the support and the love of the people around you in order to make it easier. If you enjoyed this video and you found some value in this video, hit the like button, subscribe, let me know what other content you'd like to see, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!